and pizza is a classic combination, but handcrafted beer and pizza from Wichita Brewing Company is a magic combination. Join me, Brett Hightower, as I explore wineries, breweries, and brew pubs on this episode of Untapped Kansas.
We are COX Media, offering advertising solutions to local businesses. Our products include the best of TV and the latest and greatest online capabilities. Join the team as an advertising account executive. Your role will be to uncover sales leads, meet with new businesses and existing clients to create multi-screen marketing solutions. If you like risk and reward, the upside is huge. Start your career as an advertising account executive today. Choose COX Media. Go to coxmedia.com/careers to learn more and apply today.
The key to successful advertising is to deliver a compelling message at the right time, an ideal place, seen by the target customers you are trying to reach. And while you know your own business, few find time to become marketing experts. That's where COX Media can help, with advertising that delivers more than just a message. COX Media, your customers delivered. Start growing your business. Call or visit us online today.
All right, here we are at Wichita Brewing Company. Kyle Bannock, got to do a cheers right off the bat.
Cheers.
So, I love everyone's stories, how everyone gets together and makes a dream happen kind of a deal. And what does that look like for Wichita Brewing Company?
We started off as a lot of breweries, just a small home brewing idea that took off into a bigger idea. So started off with a few small batches and then turned out really well and figured out how do we make this into something bigger that could turn into a business and be able to sell this to the public and everyone can enjoy.
And now we've got a west side location, we've got an east side location. You guys have the warehouse and actual production facility. Well, actual production, like you guys are big guys now.
Yes.
And I mean, that's a lot of growth. And with food and everything going on, I mean, that's huge. And when did that start to where we are now?
It just started to unravel, I guess, into more and more of like, this is a good idea. How do we try and capitalize on it? Starting off on the west side, then we'd have a lot of our east side clientele be like, I wish you guys would make one out here so we could help service them, not have to drive across town. That happened, and then through some good contacts of how do we produce beer on a larger scale, to getting bigger equipment, getting a warehouse where we can brew on a large scale and can and distribute, to now where we have an event venue where we can host our own big events, weddings, caterings like that. So a little bit of everything going on with us. A little bit of everything. Yes.
That's awesome. I love those stories because it's just idea to reality. And so let's go take a peek and see what's going on with the guys down in the warehouse and see what the brew house looks like and maybe take a peek at some canning as well.
Absolutely.
So with Wichita Brewing Company, we've got a lot of locations that we brew beer at, and it originally started at our West Side Brew Pub. It's a 3-barrel system. We've got our East Side Brew Pub. It's a 7-barrel brew house, and where we're at right now is our production facility, and we can brew beer 15 to 20-barrel batch sizes, and that's what we do most every day, and that's for our best-selling beers, for the beers that get distributed around the state and beyond, beers that get distributed in cans, liquor stores, restaurants, Beyond that, we also have some other flexibility with batch sizes. Our smallest batch size is going to be our 5-gallon test batch system. That's basically, it's my homebrew system, and brought it down here. We can do fresh ideas real quick, get a result, make a decision. Next size up from that, we've got a 45-gallon batch size, and that's what we use. We'll brew real neutral wort, or what wort is called the liquid that becomes beer once it's fermented. So we'll do a small 45-gallon batch of wort, and we'll use that to propagate yeast with. And then once that yeast grows, we can then do a full batch size into that yeast. And then beyond that, then we start getting into those previously mentioned batch sizes.
All right, so we're going to continue with Wichita Brewing Company, fleshing out the wonderful story you guys have. And one of the original members heard something about drinking in a backyard.
We do a lot of drinking in the backyard. I started home brewing in 2005, and Greg, my business partner, him and I met in 2008. We made some home brew systems, and just kind of got to know each other making beer in the garage. When we eventually developed the idea of starting a brew pub, we knew we wanted to pair our beer with pizza, so Greg built a brick oven in his backyard to test pizza recipes. Just like we were brewing beer in his basement in my garage, we were also making pizza in his backyard. So we'd have parties, and invite people over to sample, get opinions on what we should add on the menu, what we shouldn't have on the menu, that sort of thing.
So if you build it, they will come, for lack of a better bad movie reference going here. But so he's like, we like beer, we like drinking beer, we're gonna start brewing beer. We like pizzas, let's make a pizza oven. I mean, it was literally that simple. I know it wasn't simple, but I mean, that's just that genesis story.
Yeah.
And look where you guys are now. So I mean, and the pizzas are going, all the recipes that were developed, and you have one named after you as well, correct?
Around the Horn, yes.
Around the Horn.
My last name's Horn.
So, okay, awesome.
We like to call it a light switch personality. Greg and I are both that way. Like, once we've decided we're going to do something, it is 100%. There's no messing around. We're going to do this. And then when the light switch is off,
That's just
the light switch has been on for 8 years, and we're just trying to keep it going.
I love it. I mean, it's the whole something from nothing thing. We started with, I won't say meager means, but I mean, you started with an idea, and now an incredibly successful brewery and pizzeria. Well, not pizzeria, and we have pizza. It's awesome pizza in Wichita. Wichita Brewing Company. Cheers, Jeremy.
Cheers.
The Shaven Yak is my personal pride and joy. It's a brown ale that is 5%. It's an English style, and what that means, it's got real prevalent roasted caramel notes, similar to kind of toasted nuts, and it's not hoppy. It's real subtle, more on the malty side of things. And this came about a couple years ago. We were trying to come up with some new ideas, and I've always been a big brown ale fan. When I was home brewing on my own, I just kept playing with different recipes, and we decided that this would be a beer that we don't have in our portfolio ourselves, nor is there a lot of other English style brown ales on the marketplace on liquor store shelves. So we put together some test batches. We nailed one down. It's been our most successful beer as far as awards go, and it's one of those beers. It's an everyday beer, something that we've been real proud of.
Well, I had to pop back to the warehouse here at Wichita Brewing Company, see all the guys and gals one last time. This is Brett Hightower for UNTAPPED Kansas. Cheers.
Cheers.
The key to successful advertising is to deliver a compelling message at the right time, an ideal place, seen by the target customers you are trying to reach. And while you know your own business, few find time to become marketing experts. That's where Cox Media can help, with advertising that delivers more than just a message. Cox Media, your customers delivered. Start growing your business. Call or visit us online today.
Owning a business means you've got a lot going on, like customer relations, managing your staff and resources, all while trying to choose the right marketing strategy. Cox Media can help. We'll work with you to create advertising solutions that help reach your potential customers. Anyone, anywhere, any screen. So you can get back to doing what you do best. Cox Media, your customers delivered. Call or visit us online today.
Located in the Douglas Design District in Wichita, Gnome Brewing Company joined the craft beer community all the way back in 2015 as Wichita's first tap room. All these years later, they are turning out top-notch brews. Let's see how they do it. I am so excited. I'm finally here at Hopping Gnome in beautiful downtown Wichita with Stacy. And Stacy, Hopping Gnome. I mean, right off, I have so many questions, but the name, where did the name come from?
Yeah, so we had a lot of ideas that we liked and found that they were already taken by other breweries or home brewers. And so one night, my husband Tori was kind of frustrated and he went down to a bar in our basement and grabbed a beer and he was drinking it. And on the bar, we had a little gnome that was from a Kansas City Royals game, like a giveaway. And it was just a little Royals gnome and he looked at it and he had the idea. And so he ran upstairs and he was like, what about Hopping Gnome, for hops in the beer and gnomes are known for drinking? And I was a little on the fence about it at first. It was a little kitschy, but we looked it up. Nobody had the name. We got the domain right then and then we were Hopping Gnome.
That's awesome. And like I said, but you're setting yourself up for those puns and things too, which is, you have to, you know. But that's awesome because I can see him running up the stairs like a little kid, just all excited about it.
I got it.
And as it ties into the beer as well, I mean, like, what is your guys' signature? I mean, you're here in the community in the design district, and what is a Hopping Gnome beer?
Yeah, so we usually recommend our Douglas Avenue Pale Ale, right here on Douglas. It's a Belgian style pale, so it's not as hoppy as a lot of pales. It's super light. It's going to be the lightest beer that we typically have on tap. Or we call it the Earl of VSB because it's an English style. So that's another really mild one to start off with. But we have some gnome names in some of them. We have a salty gnome that we call. And so we have a fun design for that, and it's a Goza sour, salty sour. So awesome. Yeah, we always try to go with the fun names. We have a Design District coffee stout. Because we are here in the Douglas Design District and we use coffee from the Spice Merchant, which is a local coffee roaster. So it's a nice little collaboration.
And it's really nice because it's a really comfortable place when you're in here, as you'll see when you show up. And it's not about swilling the beer, it's about having that experience and coming in. And I know you guys are part of Final Fridays with art, and tell me about that.
Yeah, so every last Friday of the month is Final Friday, and so you'll see the art galleries in town and other businesses having local artists show their artwork, and so that's a fun way, and we leave it up all month. It's a great way to support the local artists. We also do bands, local bands on Saturdays. So we always have fun events. If you follow us on Facebook and social media, you'll see there's probably every week we have something fun going on. So
awesome. Yeah. And you don't make food here. We're not a restaurant, but you're connected. So the pizza that you guys
so Piatto Pizza opened next door about a year after we opened, and we kind of inspired them, I think, to open, and it was a lot of fun to other local business. And so you can actually order the pizza over there, and they'll deliver it here. And it's also open to any other outside food you want to bring in.
Awesome, awesome. What is it that you love when you see new people coming in here that are maybe trying a beer for the first time, or a craft beer for the first time for that matter? I mean, just the experience that they have. I mean, what does that mean to you when you see new faces?
Yeah, we love seeing new people. We see new people every week, which is great, and especially during the holidays, a lot of people traveling, and people are excited to, hey, I mean, maybe I wouldn't have left Kansas if I would have known, this was going to be here, and they love seeing what we're doing. They've never tried craft beer, or they're trying to get into it, and suggesting a lighter, more mild beer to start with, or they might say, I don't like a lot of beers, but I like your beer, and it's always just great to hear their story and have that experience.
That's really nice, because a lot of times people have a preconceived notion on what they're going to have, and they steer clear because they don't want, I don't like dark, scary beers, and it's not what it's about, So that discovery process is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And talking about the brews, Tori in the brew house does an amazing job. Let's go take a peek and see what he's up to.
My name is Tori Latin. I'm the head brewer here at Gnome Brewing in Wichita, Kansas. Well, I started out as a home brewer in 2010, and it was a hobby. Then it grew to an obsession, and now it's my full-time job. So the Wichita Brewing Community is fantastic, and it's an example of what it is basically nationwide. That's what we were excited about when we came into this business and this industry, is everybody's willing to help each other out. Whether if it's a technical question, or you're short on ingredients, or you just need help with something, everybody's friendly, and they always will return your phone call or text as soon as they can to help out. We all go to each other's breweries and events, and we see each other at a lot of beer festivals, so we're able to hang out there too. So yeah, I mean, it's a great community. Everybody's willing to lend a helping hand if you need it. So we have 7 standard beers that we always have on tap, and I think I counted the other day that we have 25 seasonals that we do, rotating beers. Sour trend is still pretty big. The hazy IPAs, New England IPAs are pretty popular. And then also you just have seasonal varieties that come out, depending on what the season is. If it's warmer, you want a lighter, easier drinking beer, but during the winter, you want something heavier, probably a little bit darker. So we have 12 beers, usually always on tap, so we're able to move a lot of beers through, which is good. So it keeps the variety going, but we also keep our standards for those that want to try the standard beers. We're a small little tap room. Some people call it cozy, which is nice. It's great. Everybody that comes in is super nice. You can sit at the bar and have a good conversation with our bartenders, as well as people across from the bar. We do family style seating, so if there's a seat open, you can just sit down and everybody's welcoming. And we usually have live music on the weekends, and just do a lot of fun events.
Hang out with friends and sip some of Wichita's culture. Gnome Brewing Company, a true craft beer lover's haven. Come see us.
We are COX Media, offering advertising solutions to local businesses. Our products include the best of TV and the latest and greatest online capabilities. Join the team as an advertising account executive. Your role will be to uncover sales leads, meet with new businesses and existing clients to create multi-screen marketing solutions. If you like risk and reward, the upside is huge. Start your career as an advertising account executive today. Choose COX Media. Go to coxmedia.com/careers to learn more and apply today.
Bouncy ball. Look, it's almost alive.
Advertising used to be simple. Make an ad, put it on TV, get results. Today, with all the new viewing options,
It's a lot more complex. At Cox Media, we make the complex simple. With precise targeting, transparency, and automation, we connect advertisers to audiences. Anyone, anywhere, on any screen. Advertising simplified. Contact Cox Media to learn more.
Here at Untapped, we talk a lot about beer, but there's so many exciting things happening with wine here in Kansas. And at Grace Hill Winery, they're doing their own thing and finding a lot of success. So if you've ever wondered about Kansas wines, Grace Hill Winery might actually be the place to start. Local, right here in Whitewater, Kansas, right on the outskirts of Wichita. And we're here with the incredible Jeff Salo, who's going to tell us all about Grace Hill Winery.
Yeah, so we're a local winery here. We're located just north of Wichita in Whitewater, Kansas. And we've been around for 10 years now, and we do it all here on site. We grow the grapes, we age them, we bottle them, the whole deal from vine to wine. So we're growing a lot of local things. A lot of grapes will actually grow here in Kansas. And so we think it really gives you a nice sort of reflection of sort of like a little mini piece of culture almost when you come out to our winery here. Yeah. So we make about 15 different wines here, all sorts of different styles. So there's always something, you know, for people to find. And it can be kind of a really fun way to sort of interact with our locality here, kind of get an expression of what we can do. So you can come out to the winery, we do tastings 5 days a week, and kind of hang out here in our tasting room, try all the different wines, and kind of learn what we're all about here.
Well, and you had alluded earlier to the fact that family vacations, your dad, it was always about traveling somewhere, and you guys got dragged to a bunch of different wineries. But now you have that here. So kind of a family thing as well. It's always been in your blood, for, you know, lack of a better term.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so yeah, when we went on vacation as a kid, you know, most people are going to beaches and the mountains or something. We spent a lot of time in barrel rooms. Being, you know, 5 or 6, I thought it was terrifically boring. But it was kind of my dad's way to sort of connect with the local culture of where we were going to. You know, people go on vacation, they have all sorts of different ways to do it. That was kind of always our family way to do it. And so I think here in Kansas, there wasn't necessarily that sort of history or, you know, basically that outlet for that. And so I think that kind of really inspired him to want to bring something like that here. So in 2004, we started planting our first grapes here at the winery, and basically kind of hobby got out of control, and then we had more grapes than we knew what to do with, started making wine out of them. We had more wine than we knew what to do with at that point, and so we started to kind of really make a go for it, opened the winery in 2008. Pretty small, about 1,000 bottles or so we did that first year. Okay. And we'll get up to about 50,000 bottles or so this year. So really grown it quite a bit, but still kind of tried to stay true to that, you know, we're making things grown here, and kind of like being, like I said before, that representation of where we are at in the world.
And it's not always about pushing the envelope like we talked about before, but it's more like exploration. So with the wines that you guys have here, you said the Chamberson is actually one it's a nice identity wine for you guys. So tell me a bit about that.
Absolutely. So the Chamberson going to be the state grape of Kansas here as of 2019, as far as red wines go. And it's a nice representation of what we can do here in Kansas, because basically it'll grow here in Kansas. You know, we're not growing Cabernet, Chardonnays, things like that. Here we're growing stuff that will put up with our cold winters as well as our really hot summers. So it's a nice way of kind of showing what we can grow here, and we can do. It's a really versatile grape as well. We make it, it's in probably 10 different wines that we have. We make it in a dry style, which is what you're drinking here. This is our juvenile Chamberson. So we have our Cellar Series, which is kind of our premium wines we do in really small batches. So those are juvenile because these are from some of our younger plants. These planted 2014, 2015. So these are some of the first grapes actually that have come off of these vines. Okay. We have another one of our Cellar Series, our Old Vine Chamberson. So those would be more of our older vines. So 07, 08, we planted those vines. And so you get to kind of taste the difference. You know, if you come to our tasting room here, you can taste the juvenile versus the old vine. Same grapes, picked the same day, just from different parts of the vineyard, from different aged vines. So you really kind of taste the representation between, you know, your different types of wines there.
And that's what I think is really interesting, because, you know, wine can seem kind of mysterious to a lot of people. And here I get the idea that it's like, hey, learn as much as you want. You know, we're going to show you, you know, what some different styles are. And it's not always that pathway you're on as far as where your taste buds are going, and people like different things or whatever. But I get the idea that your wines are very accessible, you know, to the established wine connoisseur, to someone who's just kind of getting in, you know, to trying different wines.
Exactly. And that's kind of what we're going for here, you know, because like I was saying, there's not a ton of wineries in Kansas. It's not necessarily something that's, you know, on the top of people's minds when they think about Kansas, for sure. So what we want to do is we want to be able, we want you to learn as much or as little about the wines as you want. You know, if you want to come out here and you want to, you know, see how we how we grow the grapes, how we make all the wine, the different nuances we have between all those different wines. You can certainly do that if you want to come out here and just try a bunch of different wines and hang out on the patio and do your thing that way. We're happy to help you out with that too. It just kind of bring in something fun and local and different to our place in the world here.
Well, and that's perfect. So let's go chat with Mike, head winemaker here at Grace Hill, and learn a little bit more. All right, so here we are in the heart and soul of the production area at Grace Hill with Mike, the cellar master. And Mike, I'm seeing these barrels back here and I'm thinking, you guys are having some fun coming up with some new things here.
Oh yeah, we are. So this year especially, we ordered a lot of different barrels. So we're experimenting with some Eastern European oak this year, and then 2 types of hybrid barrels actually. So some have French oak heads with American oak staves, and then others have every other stave is French oak and American oak. So really trying to give us some of that, Midwest feel with a little, California nuance maybe.
Awesome. So, and it's not about pushing the envelope per se, it's more just like you guys have the freedom to kind of do what you want,
Yeah, it's always a learning process out here. We haven't been here very long, and we're still learning what works best for us, what varietals to grow, what barrels to use, how to treat them once we get them to the production area as well. So a lot of experimenting with styles still to see what works best for us here.
And what's the most fun for you in this process?
Oh, most fun for me, it's just kind of being able to do whatever I want. I can take wines out of the tank whenever I want, try them, lots of quality control, but also just blending different sweetnesses, different varietals every year, and then experimenting with different oak barrels as well. It's fun.
And so you guys get to kind of layer it too, so you learn something and then you tuck that knowledge away and then you think, hey, we've got these kind of grapes in now, or we've got these barrels that have a different profile to them, and let's see what happens when we go this direction. I mean, that's going to be exciting.
Right, we're kind of always trying to rise the tide, I guess you could say. So every year we get a little more baseline knowledge and then try to, expand it a little more, see if we can do a little bit better than what we have in the past.
Awesome. And this is what makes Kansas wine so exciting. Grace Hill Winery really pushing the envelope a little bit and what Kansas wines can be. If you want to see how amazing Kansas wines can be, come on out to Grace Hill Winery and see Jeff and Mike and the gang and have a taste for yourself. Cheers. And do this and say, I'm Mike, the cellar master.
I'm Mike, the cellar master.
Are you rolling? I just forced him into an outtake, which is awesome because we always do.
We are COX Media, offering advertising solutions to local businesses. Our products include the best of TV and the latest and greatest online capabilities. Join the team as an advertising account executive. Your role will be to uncover sales leads, meet with new businesses and existing clients to create multi-screen marketing solutions. If you like risk and reward, the upside is huge. Start your career as an advertising account executive today. Choose COX Media. Go to coxmedia.com/careers to learn more and apply today.
The key to successful advertising is to deliver a compelling message at the right time, in ideal place, seen by the target customers you are trying to reach. And while you know your own business, Few find time to become marketing experts. That's where Cox Media can help, with advertising that delivers more than just a message. Cox Media, your customers delivered. Start growing your business. Call or visit us online today.